Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We're going to be going over the Dolphins game. Before we get started, please drop a quick like and a sub on today's video. That would really help my channel grow. I'd really appreciate that. With that said, let's dive right into the video, and I hope you enjoy. Well, there goes that. Dolphins lose 32-29 against the Buffalo Bills. Tyler Bass, last-second field goal to win the game with 2 seconds left. Kind of, just disappointing. Just a heartbreaking loss. Bills, good for them. They end up making the playoffs, clinched that AFC East title. Fourth straight playoff appearance for them. But for the Dolphins, just a disappointing game, right? Up 8, couldn't close it out. Weather came and it just wasn't enough. Let's start with the Dolphins here, I guess. When we're recapping them, I thought Tua played okay, right? 250 yards or so, 2 touchdowns, but it was really the running game, and especially Raheem Mostert in the first half with over 130 yards on the ground, didn't find his way into the end zone, but Stefon Ahmed had a rushing touchdown. The running game was really productive, and I thought that as the snow fell and the Dolphins had possession with like 5 minutes or so left, they should have opted to really run the football more, but they opted to really throw the football, and it looked good at first. They had Tyreek Hill early on, and they had Cedric Wilson later in the drive, but the drive stalled, gave the ball back to Buffalo. They marched down the field, scored the game-winning field goal, and win the game. But overall, I really liked how the running game played a factor in the offense against the Bills, especially, a Bills defense that's been good against the run this year. They haven't been that bad. They've hovered around 100 yards given up on the ground so far this year, I think. And they gave up well over that in today's game. And Raheem Mostert, that's going to be a big focal point of the offense in the next couple of weeks as the Dolphins will play, the Packers, the Jets, and the Patriots to close the season out. And they're going to need to come up with at least 2 wins to make the playoffs here. Right now, they dropped to 8-6. They've lost 3 of their last 3 after going on a 5-game win streak. Losing against 3 potential playoff teams. The Chargers being that potential team. The Bills obviously will be in the playoffs. The Niners will be in the playoffs. They've been really good, but the Dolphins haven't looked good. And the offense today was a lot better. They put up 29 points. I thought that the offense was very good at times, especially running the football. I thought that they found ways to get their players involved with Tyreek Hill, Jaylen Waddle, both getting touchdowns. Tua did enough to stay in this game, and although it wasn't his best game, I thought that they did a good job. Also, offensive line-wise, I thought in pass protection they could have done better, but run game they did really well, especially the right side of that offensive line. I thought Greg Little had a really good game, as well as just overall the right tackle there for the Dolphins. Or no, not Greg Little. I don't know why I said that. Brandon Shell. He had a really good game, I thought, and the right side of that offensive line, I thought in the run blocking game was really productive. And then, you turn the ball over to the defensive side. The corners just can't catch a break. I thought Kader Kohu, played okay, but at the end of the day, gave up the PI to set the Bills up inside the 10. Xavier Howard hasn't been, himself the entire season, continued that in today's game. Noah Benogany struggled. The secondary really struggled, and especially when Javon Holland went down with a little bit of an injury, that didn't help. But at the end of the day, Javon Holland played well too. It was just, they just didn't do enough. And I think the pass rush is part of that reason. They're not getting enough pressure to the quarterback, and that's just something that you have to do against a Bills team that is just so effective. And with Josh Allen, you have to get pressure on the quarterback. I mean, why else do you go out and trade for Bradley Chubb if he's not going to get pressure? And honestly, Bradley Chubb, week after week, is continuing to annoy me, right? He's almost like an aquarium. At the end of the day, kind of useless, very expensive, and doesn't really give you a whole lot. Kind of cool, kind of fun to look at, right? Bradley Chubb, former Pro Bowler on this team, but he isn't being productive. He isn't getting sacks. Christian Wilkins with another great game. Zach Sealer with another great game. Jaelen Phillips, huge game from him. But Bradley Chubb has got to get involved defensively, and at the end of the day, this defense can't get off the field because they're not creating enough pressure on third downs, getting to the quarterback, and they're careless in that regard. For the Bills, though, Josh Allen just is that guy. He's incredible. 4 touchdowns for him in today's game. Ran for God knows how many yards. Just a really electric day from him through the air and on the ground. Is he human? He's ridiculous. And even though they didn't really get Stefon Diggs that involved in the game, Isaiah McKenzie continues to be the Dolphins killer like he's been over the past 3 seasons. In clutch moments, getting the PI late in the game. But overall, Dawson Knox, too, with a really big game. Their run game wasn't as big with their running backs. It was really the Josh Allen show. And at the end of the day, their defense did enough. They caused pressure when they had to. I thought Tre'Davious White had a really good game overall. And I thought that, their linebackers did a good job, just stopping really anything Tua could do over the middle. The Dolphins weren't as productive over the middle as they have been all year. And that's really been a trend in the past 3 weeks. Good to see the Dolphins, kind of move the ball through the air a little bit more than they have the past two weeks. But I thought the Bills defense did pretty good. Not really allowing those massive plays time after time after time. Sure, they gave up, that long touchdown to Waddle, and a couple other, big plays, but there wasn't a lot of it repetitively one after the other. And that's something that we saw through the first 8 weeks of the season. So if you're the Bills, good for you. You move on, and now you're gonna lock up one of those top 4 seeds in the AFC East. If you're the Dolphins, now you've got work. You've got 3 winnable games to close out the year, but they're definitely going to be difficult. You've got the Packers, you've got the Patriots, and the Jets. You need to pretty much win. If you win 3, you're in. If you win 2, you're probably in. But with teams like the Jets currently having a tiebreak over the Dolphins, with teams like the Chargers having the tiebreak over the Dolphins, it's going to be a little bit interesting. Also, the Bengals have the tiebreak over the Dolphins. However, they are currently first in the AFC North. So nonetheless, it's going to be playoff hectics. At the end of the day, the Dolphins weren't expected to win this game. I didn't think they were going to win this game. It was kind of nice that they were in it, and of course, in classic Dolphins fashion, that they don't end up winning. But with that said, it's going to be really a roller coaster ride the next 3 weeks. They're going to have to bring their A game. They're going to have to win some tight games. They're going to have to take care of the Packers next week. Then they travel to New England in another cold weather game that they're going to have to pull out a win in that, and they're going to play the Jets at home in Miami to close out the year. 3 games, you got to get 2 wins. 3 gets you in, but 2 and some help will do it too. Dolphins, they've got to bounce back next week. This is a bad time for them to be on a losing streak, but there was much better play in this one than there was last week against the Chargers, especially.
And with that said, that's pretty much going to end the video for today. Did you agree with my analysis? Why or why not? Leave your comments and thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Also, if you're new around here, please drop a like and a sub on today's video. I'd really appreciate that. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, see ya.